This week is going to be an exciting week if you are into foreign policy and international relations. The 80th United Nations General Assembly will be happening in New York, and this year is going to be even more dramatic because the president of Ghana and the president of the United States are going to go head to head in their approach to the UN. What do I mean by that? I'm going to break it all down today on this channel. My name is Nenebi Tony. I'm a Ghanaian writer based in the US. And on this platform, I provide intellectual explanation of Ghana's economy and foreign policy, Africa's foreign policy, and the state of the global economy and trade. And so if that is something you are interested in, subscribe to this channel. And again, occasionally I provide some entertainment, because I like to have fun too. This year's United Nations General Assembly will be going down under the theme Better Together, 80 Years and More for Peace. And why is peace in the title? This is because the reason the UN was set up 80 years ago was to foster global peace and coexistence. And 80 years down the line, there is still major wars happening around the world. Russia-Ukraine comes in mind. Gaza war comes in mind. Even this year, Israel and Iran versus US came in mind. And so it looks like there is no peace in the world. So have the UN been successful in their quest to provide peace for the world, or they have failed? And so the reason why they are saying 80 years of peace is because they are trying to make a statement that they've been successful at providing peace for the world. And their argument is probably going to be the fact that the last time there was a major war in the world was World War II. Even though there have been wars in the world after World War II, there's not been an instance where the whole world is going at each other. So the UN is going to tout that they have been successful in their mission. You tell me, have the UN been successful or not? Provide that in the comments. But even bigger than that, that is going to be the test of everything happening in the world. Every president who is going to be at the UN General Assembly is going to come there with their own personal mission. The president of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, is coming to the UN General Assembly as the African Union's champion of African financial institutions. That is a big title. The president of the US, Donald J. Trump, is going to come to champion America first and tout America's power around the globe. And so these two agendas are very, very opposite of each other. The president of Ghana is going to be focused on trying to champion regional or global integration and cooperation. The president of the US is going to champion the US global powers. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. The last time the president of Ghana addressed the UN, he said, no country, no matter how powerful, can insulate itself from the challenges of our interconnected world. This was in September 2016. And in September 2020, which was the last time the president of the US addressed the General Assembly, he said every country should focus on solving their own problems. There can only be cooperation if everybody is doing things for themselves. And so he was championing America first. One person is saying, let's work together. Another person is saying, I'm better than you. I don't want to work with you. This is the context of this year's United Nations General Assembly. And I'm going to give you details of how Ghana is going to approach the world today or this week. The president of Ghana is going to address the United Nations General Assembly on Thursday. The US president will do it on Tuesday. Before he addresses the UN on Thursday, the president of Ghana is going to ring the NASDAQ closing bell. NASDAQ is a US-based stock exchange that lists many of the world's leading companies. So that makes it a symbol of global financial integrity, financial integration, and financial innovation. And so by ringing the NASDAQ bell, the president of Ghana is going to make the symbolic statement that the global financial market is interconnected. Even though NASDAQ is based in the US, they speak to or attend to needs of companies around the world. So the world financial market is one. That is what President Mahama is going to use the NASDAQ ringing of the bell to indicate. And this is important. Why? Because this year, the president of the US usurped or destroyed the entire world's financial corporation by announcing tariffs on every country in the world. And so, in global politics, there's something called stick and carrot. Stick is when you try to use force to get people to do what you want. Carrot is when you try to use coercion or gentle approach to get people in the world to do what you want. And the president of the US have been focused on using the stick to dealing with the world. And the tariffs, in my opinion, have been a disaster for the president of the US. And it has been a disaster because he was trying to project America's strength by announcing the tariffs. But what he did was project how weak America is. Let me give you an example. So the president or the prime minister of India, Modi, is personal friends with Trump. And Modi and his counterpart in Pakistan were at war with each other, and then the war ended. And Trump took credit for the ending of the war. Modi said nothing. And then Trump asked Modi to tell the world that he ended the war between India and Pakistan. And what's the name? Modi said, no, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The reason why Modi can't do that is because India and Pakistan have a long-standing war. So if the president of India says the US ended the war between India and Pakistan, the president of India is saying that the US can tell India what to do. No president in the world wants to say that. And so Modi didn't do what Trump wanted. So Trump put further tariffs on India. And what happened when he did that? Modi went and met with the president of Russia. And they had a big public meeting. And Russia and the US don't really get along well. So Modi, in defiance to Trump tariff, tries to even distance himself from Trump as far away as possible. So in this instance, Trump tariff failed. Right? There are other instances I can cite, but this is a very easy instance to follow, right? So for example, the tariffs have been a disaster. The tariffs have destroyed the world financial system as we know it. So every country in the world is looking to do something new. So more countries are now joining the BRICS. And guess what the president of Ghana is going to do? When the president of Ghana addresses the UN this year, he's going to announce Accra Reset. Accra Reset is a global presidential council that heads of states from Africa, Asia, Latin America, and other places are going to join to get together to carve their path forward together. So what the president of Ghana is going to say is, we always looked at people like the US as leaders of the world, but the US is not the leader of the world anymore. So who is going to be the leader of the world? We ourselves. That is why it's called Accra Reset. Accra is the capital of Ghana. And so the president of Ghana is going to lead the Asia, Africa, Latin America are known as the Global South. So the president of Ghana is going to lead the Global South to a new age of financial integration, where we are not going to look up to the global north, as our leaders anymore. We ourselves are going to be leaders of our faith. So, in the context of Trump's isolationist global politics, the president of Ghana is going to be a champion of integration, a champion of cooperation. And the cooperation is going to look like the US is not part of it anymore. We don't need you. We are going to do this on our own. And so this is how the president of Ghana is challenging the president of the US. And there are other ways that I can, cite, but I felt like the financial matter is the most important because as it stands now, the UN itself will be dealing with the wars. So the president of Ghana is going to champion the conversation on the financial and economic agenda of the world. And so he's also going to call for more equitable global financial system. Equitable global financial system is one of the things that the president of Ghana is going to champion. And so, what do you think the president of Ghana is going to come out of this looking? Is he going to look as the leader of the world he's trying to project? Because Ghana has always been one of the leaders of the world. But now the president of Ghana is not going to just behind the scenes project Ghana as a leader of the world. He's going to take center stage and announce that Ghana has arrived as a leader of the world. That is what he's going to do. Do you think he's going to be successful at achieving his goal, or he's going to at some point give up? Tell me what you think. And again, subscribe to this channel because later this week, I'm going to break down the president's speech when he addresses the UN on Thursday. I'm going to read the speech, take 2 or 3 things he spoke about, and provide you with the history